does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Alrighty then, we are back again today for more of our top 100 games of all time and Brandon's top 20 games of all time.
Ahoy!
Here with my good friend Brandon.
That's me.
And we are on number 70 through 61. Before we get started, I want to mention another game that was not on the list and why. You probably tell more about this game. Champions of Midgard.
Ah, I love Champions of Midgard.
From-
We're going to talk about that later. Spoilers!
But yeah, I really enjoyed that game. Unfortunately, I've only played it with you. I think I played it once.
Yeah, it's great. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but Vikings, ship sailing, worker placement.
It's a Waterdeep replacement?
No.
Okay.
No.
We'll talk about that later as well. So, starting off number 70, a game I do not own, unfortunately. That is Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Good pick.
Are we doing product placement?
I am absolutely doing product placement right now because Small Town Brewery is amazing. They're awesome.
Hunter.
all right. Now we're getting out of control.
Well, I can't plug my fans?
I mean, you can plug your fans. Oh my god.
Castles of Mad King Ludwig from Beezier Games. Really enjoy this game where you are going to be building a castle. And building a castle is really cool because you actually build this big strong castle.
There's like circle things, there's squares, little bits, and there's doors. Placement of those things on a board. That's what you do.
But my favorite aspect, though, is how the auction system works. Because once each turn, someone is going to be the auctioneer, and they're going to get a portion of that money. And so they really have to think about where they place various different things, and then they're also trying to think about what they want, what they're going to be stuck with. And I just think it's a really ingenious concept. This is the kind of game where if I owned it, I think it'd be even higher. And if I had the expansion, because there's an expansion which apparently just adds more room types.
Yeah, and also like the moat thing where you have to build in a square, I think, is the expansion. Pretty sure. Okay.
Sounds cool to me, though.
It's a fun game. It's very good. I've played this with a couple friends. Very easy to teach. Not a whole lot going on. The auction system, like you said, is awesome, where you're bidding and sending money to other people. So you're like, do I want to give a whole lot or do I not? It's solid. It's a very good game. It was on iOS sale this week, and I'm really sad I didn't get it.
Yeah, likewise.
So.
All right, moving on though. Number 69. 69! Zombie dice time. That's what I always tell my wife.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know what that even means.
Me neither.
Yeah, number 69 on the list, Zombie Dice, and I love Zombie Dice. This was actually the first game that I ever bought.
Really?
This and Pandemic, I think, was the first game I ever bought. I went into a local game store, thanks Max Temkin, to go buy Cards Against Humanity, and somehow they talked me into this and Pandemic.
And that's how you got started on the hobby.
That was
awesome.
how I got started on the hobby. It has 2 expansions. It has you played Zombie Dice.
Yes, I played Zombie Dice.
It has the Santa Claus expansion, which also has, everybody remembers Santa Claus, nobody remembers the jock and the girlfriend, or whatever the heck it is, the cheerleader.
Right.
And then it has the Zombie Bus expansion, which comes with this really big, chunky, I'm not even going to get it out because I got so much crap in there, 20-sided die. If you have not gotten a Zombie Dice, it's a very simple dice rolling game, push your luck game. You're just going to be rolling, trying to get brains, trying not to get shot in the face because you were a zombie. But the Santa Claus expansion, must own if you like Zombie Dice, even though it's way overpriced. It's like $4 a dice. But the other expansion, the Zombie Bus expansion, it adds a little bit more to the game, but I think it adds too much teaching time as well. So Zombie Dice, it's going to be on my shelf forever.
Super lightweight, super quick, super easy to teach. Very much a gateway game.
Yeah,
very
playing with my 4-year-old son. Good drinking game, good filler game.
Yeah. That's a good pick. I like that on the list. That's a good pick.
Plus, it's probably the game that I've played the most out of nearly all the games on my list as well. Well, yeah, because Zombie Dice is just so...
It's easy.
Yeah. It also has a pretty decent app, too. It's an outdated app, but it goes up to 10 players, which is insane. Moving on to number 16, I have Flag Dash. Peacekeeper game. This is for 2 to 4 players. And Flag Dash is simulating Capture the Flag.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you played this once.
Once. And what I remember about it was like, eh.
See, and for me personally, this game has had some of the most tense moments I've ever had playing games. There is some serious tension when you're playing with 4 players. Not when you're playing with 3 players as much, but when you're playing with 4 players, and you are trying to outthink and outsmart the other team. And I just love moments where that's one of the things I love about games is trying to outthink and outsmart other people. But when you're trying to outthink and outsmart another team, and then trying like this back and forth, like, oh, I think they know that I'm going to do this, so I need to make sure that I do this because they're not going to expect it. But then they might also think that I'm going to do this because they think I'm going to do this.
Then you're like,
so I'm going to do something completely crazy, which isn't going to work because that's normally how I play games. But it has great sense of tension, completely asymmetrical abilities. Everybody's going to get their own unique characters. Some can jump, some have lassos. Also recommend getting the Kickstarter expansion, which I think you can probably get off their website. It adds a couple new roles, which are really fun as well. If you routinely have 4 players, really like this one. It's good with 2, but I liked it best with the full complement at 4. Also, it's kind of a double-sided board, so you can play different spots. Really enjoy Flag Dash. Check out this nice little game. Small one, too.
all right.
All right, number 67, we have Alien Frontiers from Game Salute. A lot of people do not like Game Salute, but this is the game that put them on the map. I don't even think they designed it, but they released it. And it is, if you like Kingsburg, this is kind of like Kingsburg in space. You're going to be rolling dice. You're going to be playing dice all over the board. Have you played this?
I have played this a couple times. I actually got on the Kickstarter for the second printing or whatever it is that they recently did.
Oh, nice. Hasn't been played in a while, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. That's all right.
But, yeah, it's just a really cool dice placement game. It's got a lot of ways to mitigate your luck with the dice. I like the area control aspect as well.
That's neat.
Big planet in the middle, and you're going to be putting your guys there. You have to launch them into space to do that, and they give you special abilities. And the special abilities you get from the middle are really useful special abilities. So there's going to be a lot of people fighting for those spots in the middle. Really rock solid game. It's just
it is. I love the fact that you're rolling dice, figuring out where you're going. There's a little bit of luck involved.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy that in worker placement. I mean, you call it dice placement, but it's sort of worker placement, dice placement. But yeah, this is solid. I hemmed and hawed on the Kickstarter, and it was like, you know what? I like it enough that I'm gonna do it. So
another thing that I really liked about this game was the fact that your dice never went to waste. Like, you always felt like there was something to do with your dice, which I like a lot as well.
That's a good pick. I like that pick.
Number 66, we have Libertalia from Asmodee, of course, because they make everything and buy everything. You played Libertalia?
I've not.
Oh.
At least I don't think so.
Oh, it's so good.
Talk about it. Maybe I'll remember.
I talked a little bit about Lord of the Rings: The Duel last time. So essentially, this is a game where everyone is going to start with the same cards. And the cards are going to be randomized from game to game to game to game to game. And you are going to be playing those cards in the attempt to get victory points. But you're only going to play, I think, 6 of those cards, which means you're going to have 3 cards left in your hand. And it's this really interesting game where then you're going to get more new cards.
Did they do this on tabletop? Maybe that's where I'm thinking. I think they did. I'm going to look it up, internet. Go ahead. Keep talking.
But those 9 original cards, you might be holding on to one card until everybody plays that card. And there's this whole aspect of when is somebody going to play this card? When is somebody not going to play this card? And it's one of those games that when you play it, you're like, I immediately want to go back and replay this, but with different sets of cards. I'm mind-boggling it has not come out with an expansion. Really enjoy this one. Libertalia from Asmodee Games. Got a cool pirate theme, nice components, good cards, and one that I will never turn down. Really enjoy that one.
It was on tabletop, so if you're interested, and shout out to Wheaton. I love tabletop. It's fantastic. But I watched this one and I went, no. Like, it wasn't for me, so
I like it a lot.
Maybe I should actually play it and, like, judge it after that, but...
I like to judge things before.
I agree. I'm judgmental as hell.
Alright, number 65, we have Spyfall from Cryptozoic, and this, don't look, it's actually Spyfall 2. We'll just put the fingers there. Spyfall from Cryptozoic, and I know you're a big fan of this game as well, correct?
I don't know if I'd call myself a big fan. It's entertaining, it's very simple. You get a location... and you are either someone who knows where you're at, or you don't. There's one person who doesn't know where you're at, and you're asking questions like, is it hot here? What'd you bring for lunch? And things like that, to try and determine who doesn't know and who does know. Small town brewery, bro. We'll talk about that in a second.
Number 58 on the list.
But the biggest problem I have with this game is if I remember correctly, in the retail release, they didn't give like little reference cards.
That wasn't Spyfall 1 though. in Spyfall 2, they didn't.
They didn't? Are you kidding? Okay,
And
so
then the
guys,
upcoming Spyfall DC, I bet they're not going to do it either.
oh my
They're just
gosh,
like, what? You want that?
So the locations are in like the rule book, which there's only one of.
You look guilty.
And then you have to keep looking. That is my biggest problem with this game. And it's simply solved. I mean, you type up something and give it to everybody. But they should have freaking provided that.
And this is from Cryptozoic, so you know it's not a money issue. It's not like they couldn't fit the extra 12 cards. That being said, it still elicits some of the funniest moments in the game.
Fun.
Especially, have you ever played it with a role-playing scenario?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my god, where you actually take the role of the character on the bottom of the card.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a lot more fun.
It's insane. It's a lot of fun. I will say, though, I have had some games that fall absolutely flat on its face. That's a game could be easily ruined by someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And actually, there's a new game out called The Chameleon. I don't know why you can't see over there.
I mean,
it's somewhere over there. Or it could be.
Use your imagination, Internet.
Which kind of fixes that game. And it might fix it for you as well.
Maybe.
It's just a simple word, and they have all the words in front of you. Well, I'll have to bring that on Monday. You have to try that out.
There you go. I mean, I would play Spyfall. That's one of the ones where it's like, if you said, hey, we're going to play Spyfall, I'm like, I'm in. But you've got to have those reference cards. You just have to, or
in the right
it's
crowd.
Useless.
I see all the faults with this game. And if it didn't have that many faults, it would be a lot higher. Because I mean, you can admit this. It elicits some genuinely hilarious moments.
Yeah, I think so. I've laughed. I've had fun times.
I laughed once. All right, number 64. Also, do not have it because I let my buddy Eric borrow it. Rampage, a.k.a. Terror in Meeple City, because apparently you can't steal, Nintendo's old catalog of games and just make games out of. God, what were you thinking, Repos? Rampage is this really awesome. It blows my mind that there's an expansion for it. This game from Antoine Bowsett, which you're going to put together this board, and you're actually going to be building this board up. There's going to be a 3-dimensional board, and you're going to be building a city with meeples in it. And you're going to be flicking your monster around and dropping your monster and blowing on things and throwing buses and doing all sorts of really awesome stuff. Sounds like it's strictly family weight, but no, this is a great game night game too if you have 2 to 4. Does take a decent amount of space up at the table because you have to be able to go around the table. Somebody bumps the table too hard, and it's completely ruins it. But I love this game. It blows my mind that it is not, because the way the board's put together, it's like a puzzle piece.
Yep.
And they could easily just plop in a middle part and make this a 6-player game, and they really
and on and on and on. I played this once in San Francisco, California. In case you didn't know where San Francisco was, look, educate yourself.
United States of America.
On Earth. Anyway, my buddy Sean and I, we went out to a board game place.
Not my son, right?
Not your son. Okay. Not your son. I don't think he was with me. And I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, I've heard all about it. Let's do it. And we set it up for 2 players. Immensely fun. Yeah. Immensely fun. You're flicking stuff around. You're blowing. You're playing cards. You're trying to get. There's meeples. There's little meeples, and you set them. It was awesome.
I will say though, you probably want to raise edge.
Absolutely. Like you don't want it on a flat table because stuff's gonna go everywhere. Definitely, it was entertaining though. It was fun as crap. I don't want to own it. Like it's not one I'd run out and buy, but I had a good time.
If you had a family, would you? Kids.
What's a family? I don't know.
If you had kids,
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely it definitely is a little bit of a niche game, and it also run into a lot of legal issues. Just because they used the title Rampage with monsters destroying a city, and they didn't get permission. What were you thinking?
That was kind of dumb.
Because I bet that had to do something with derailing an expansion too. Because they renamed it Terror in Meeple City, and it's come out with a couple different versions, and so it sells. But man, come on, give me an expansion.
All right, next.
Number 63 from Passport Games Studio and Funforge. A game that I really, really enjoy.
I'm very interested in this just from the box.
This is Hop. I'll bring this over Monday. Hop is fantastic. It is massively, massively, massively overproduced. It's a game where you are going to be taking rainbows and you are going to be throwing rainbows and trying to get them onto people's fingers. But there's tons of different ways to try to get them on people's fingers. There's miniatures included with the game for no apparent reason.
Really?
They just give you a pawn. They decided to give you miniatures.
This has no purpose?
No.
Like, you just put it in front of you? You're not, like, trying to throw...
No, this literally is just to keep track of your points. It just goes up this little 3-dimensional cloud that you're going to be building. And the cloud's like this
So
big.
This is pure and unadulterated theme?
It is massively... Oh, no, there's no theme.
There's no theme?
No, you're just hopping into the cloud.
All right, so okay, points to them for marketing because I was like, this looks interesting.
Right, so
and now
for
that he
instance,
talks about
you must
it.
cover one eye and try and throw that onto my finger. So
Okay,
this is
here
the
we
pirate.
go.
And then so there we go. But
I
obviously,
win.
you would normally be further away. There's
Yeah.
also this betting system in this game that I really love. I love gambling. I'm a huge gambler. And you get to bet each round on whether or not you think the people in the game will succeed or not. So you're always actively involved.
Is there anything under this?
Yes, that's the board. The board, I'm not kidding, is like this tall. You build
Okay,
it.
look, this is cool, but yeah, massively overproduced as an
It is a
understatement.
fun game, though, for adults, for kids. This is a great party game. It goes up to 6. I wish it played even more. Hop. I really would love to see an expansion for this game one day.
Okay.
Super fun. This is a game that I'm going to have forever.
I mean, bring that. Yeah, I want to play that, but what the hell?
It is.
I'll try not to
a
swear
beast.
on the internet, but
All right. 62, we have Witch Hunt from Kyle Brockman.
I'm excited to talk about
I think
this
it's
one.
Chocolate Pie Games. 7 to 20 plus players, 30 to 90 minutes, ages 6 plus. And what they strive to do with Witch Hunt, this is the Kickstarter prototype of it, is fix Werewolf. And I think for the most part, the cons that a lot of people have with Werewolf, they did fix.
Where like in Werewolf, if you die, you're dead and you're out of the game. In Witch Hunt, if you die, you're not out of the game. You can still participate.
Yeah, there's
That's a
angels and
fix.
demons. One of my personal favorite things that they fixed in this game, which is a lot of people don't complain about with Werewolf, is the fact that roles are not specifically signed to good or bad. Say, for instance, the Witch, always on the good team. The Hunter, always on the good team. This time, the roles interchange. So you can have, the Hunter, for instance, on the bad team. And I love that aspect of the game. It's very well done, and it needs a good moderator, but it has a really good app they designed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think this is going to go the way of the Dodo Bird. Because it came out last year, and I went to Gen Con, and I didn't see anybody playing.
It's niche. It's going to be very niche.
And that's unfortunate, because from a strictly nuts and bolts perspective, it is a better game than Werewolf. And I love Werewolf.
So I got to play this once at Gen Con because he talked me into it, and I was super drunk. We were drinking Fireball.
I was also super drunk.
And we get into the circle, and I've never played Werewolf, so I didn't really know what was going on, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I had not at that point.
Oh my God!
I had not at that point played Werewolf.
We're playing Werewolf at Origins.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's on my list. Yeah, check out our Origins coverage. And I say I don't know. We'll be there. I'll have a camera or something. Anyway, and there were these two kids that no matter what I did, they didn't believe me, and I died. I got killed in the first 10 minutes.
But you weren't out of the game, though.
I wasn't out of the game. I stood off to the side, and we kind of talked about stuff, and it didn't matter because whatever.
You do have a small role, but it's
It was
not
enjoyable.
A major.
It was enjoyable. I definitely liked it. I would play this again. Absolutely. Yeah.
If it doesn't gain more traction, I have a feeling it's eventually going to fall off the list. But still, for the time being, it is a superior game, nuts and bolts, to Werewolf.
It did not catch though. You're right. It did not catch, and hopefully we'll see. Maybe it'll be at Origins. I don't know.
So next, we'll talk about a game that did catch.
What number is this?
Number 61, Wits and Wagers from North Star Productions. I talked a little bit earlier about how I love gambling. I love gambling. I love betting. I love the thrill. I love the rush. And in Wits and Wagers, you are going to be playing a trivia game where you are going to write down on a dry erase board your answers, and you get this big
Numbers, right?
Yes, they all have to be numbers. And you're going to get this big, elaborate play mat that looks like something you'd see in a casino. And then you are going to be bidding on which answer you think is correct. So this is one of those rare games where if someone's really good at trivia, it doesn't matter because other people can pick their answers. And nice components, top notch. It's a shame that this game, because the thing is, when Say Anything from the same company came out, they kind of neglected this game a little bit, but I still love this game. Wits and Wagers. If you like trivia games, but you're tired of getting the crap kicked out of you by one particular person, this is the trivia game for you.
It's fantastic. This is a really solid pick, and probably my top 30, I would say. Entertaining, fun, easy, quick to teach. Betting is awesome.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Yeah, this is a fantastic family game if you're looking
Team
for
game.
something like that. Great team game. Yeah, that's a good pick.
All right, but that is my number 61, and we have done 10 more. Stay tuned for next time when we go from 60 to 51, because that's how numbers work. But if you like the list, if you hate the list, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.
Thanks, YouTube.
My line. Don't.
Oh, I'm stealing your line.
You don't
at least,
thank you
at
two.
least once.
I thank
will
them.
thank the crap out